What's going on, guys? Nick Lesagore here, Exit 12 Homebrew in the house, and I'm here with a very special, fun brew day, more special than all the others. If they were my children, all these brew days, I would blatantly tell them this one's very special. And that's because it's a nighttime brew day on a Thursday night after I got out of work on a night where we're having a club meeting for the BrewTubers Online Brewers Club. Go on Discord, join us. We have club meetings once a month. We go over financials, sponsorship updates. We talk about club events coming up, things like that. It's a real fun time. We have beers. After the meeting, we all chat online for a little bit. Some stay longer than others. I'm looking at you, Josh, fire and eyes. Overstay their welcome, drink a few more beers than maybe they should, and then we have a great time talking about it the next day in the Discord. Anyway, I'm brewing a brown ale today. I'm brewing an English brown ale today, and this is going to be a shortened brew day video, and the reason for that is because, one, I have brew day footage of an English brown ale. I'm pretty sure more than one brew day footage I have separate videos of my English brown ale. I brew English brown ales. I medal in competitions with my English brown ale. I'm actually kind of changing things up. I'm going with a different yeast. I'm changing my hop schedule, changing out a hop. Instead of Willamette, I'm going to be using Fuggles, and then I'm changing the grain, the base grain. I'm doing floor malted Maris Otter for the base grain. So all that's fine and well, but the reason for the video is because I'm going to be using the spike mill again. Now, if you've been following me, you know that my usage of the spike mill has occurred in two videos. One for the wet hop beer, where I got 62% Brewhouse Efficiency, and I believe it was 79% mash efficiency. And then for my honey blonde ale that I just brewed that's still in the fermenter in my fermentation chamber, I got upwards of 72% Brewhouse Efficiency with around the same mash efficiency. The mash efficiency numbers on those two beers could be switched. I'll put them on the screen. But all that to say, I'm looking for at least 75% on my Brewhouse Efficiency. And the only thing I know to do at this stage is to mess around with the grain crush. The grain crush for the wet hop beer was at 050 on the dial. The grain crush for the honey beer was at 030. Again, may have those numbers switched around. But in any event, I'm messing around with the grain crush in order to dial in my efficiencies better. I'm also realizing I'm losing a couple points on the boil, and that could be a reason for my efficiency issues as well. But all that to say, I'm going to be using the spike mill again, and I'm actually moving down to 040. And I did some research, shout out to Google and their AI, and put in a simple question. The question is, on my SS Brewtech grain mill, I have it set to 0. What is the same setting on the spike mill? And they basically came back and said 040 to 045. I have no idea necessarily if that's true. We're going to test that theory out today. I'm setting the grain mill to 040 because on the SS Brewtech grain mill, at the 0 setting, I get upwards of 80% efficiency. And really, I would love 80 to 82% efficiency on my spike mill so that I'd feel more comfortable selling my SS Brewtech mill, which is still on Facebook Marketplace. I'm not budging from my price point. So it's going to be a shortened brew day. I'll show some footage of me grinding the grain, show some mash-in footage, and then show some footage along the process of figuring out what we end up getting for pre-boil volume, what we end up getting for our pre-boil gravity, first runnings, things like that. But it's going to be a shortened brew day video to show folks that either have the spike mill and are having issues with it, or folks that are interested in the spike mill, just kind of what my process is in trying to dial in my efficiencies. So why don't we go ahead, get some footage. Let's start this brew day. Kid O'Donovan, overseeing the brewing process. I'm going to try as best I can is to show you. Let's back up, bud. I want to be able to show the camera a little bit here. So here's the crush. It's a little dark to see, but it looks like it, I mean, obviously, the rollers are in more, but it is crushed a little bit finer. I did kind of find, stop eating it, please. I did kind of find the, there's uncrushed grain over there if you want to eat it, okay? I did find some grain kernels that were not fully crushed, but this looks like a slightly finer crush. So let's see how this goes. Okay, the power's turned down to 29%. I got my bucket of grain. And now it's time to mash in on the second beer in like 6 days, 5 days. My brown ale. Okay, we got the power turned down to 29%. Strike temp was 158. Oh yeah, smelling those roasted malts. Donovan, come here and sniff. Stick your head in that mash tun.
Once you're done putting the grain in.
Here, take a sniff. What do you smell?
I smell honey. Hi guys. Today we're making a video.
Come here, what do you smell?
Actually, I smell honey.
Honey? Okay. What else? Anything else?
Yeah.
Like roasty?
Definitely got a lot of roasty.
A lot of roasty?
Very less honey.
Smells like almost like fresh baked bread.
Yeah, beer. I get beer.
Oh, you get beer? Okay. 153.4. Very viscous mash. Heat's back on, 151.5. See, that's the upside to not using the wrap temperature thermometer and or not having it dialed in, is that because I'm going off of the probe on the bottom of the unit, anything under 152, it's going to turn the heat on. So it'll keep me right in that 151, 152 range. Okay, I don't see any dough balls, so we're going to wrap this bad boy up. Pop the top on and wait 10 minutes. I will catch up with you near the end of the mash. Unless something goes wrong, stuck mash or whatever, I will catch up with you near the end of the mash. Back to life, back to reality. Anyway, first runnings are at 050. We're shooting for a pre-boil gravity of 040. I just am in the middle of sparging now, coming up to heat. I sparged with 5 liters. Actually 6 liters, 6¼ liters, and I probably need to sparge with about another quarter liter or so to get to 7.75 gallons pre-boil volume. 050 is about where I expected to be, 10 points high, hoping that we're higher on our pre-boil gravity than 040 because that would tell me that we're higher than maybe 71% brewhouse efficiency. We have to wait to see how the boil goes. But we are looking at getting a 049 OG. So continuing on with the brew day, and from an efficiency standpoint, about what I expected, maybe a little bit higher. So I'm taking a look at the hops here. I got these cluster hops from Beer Co. in Australia. I get my Kegland stuff from Beer Co. because nowhere around here and online in the States sells it for like 6 to 12 months after it's released. But look at these. I'm looking in the box. Look at how long these hop pellets are. Look at the length of those hop pellets. What is going on? Like all of these hop pellets, for the most part, like super compacted and super long looking. Smells good though. But just really weird looking hops. I've never seen them that long. So, taking a look at the spent grain, it looks pretty full. The husks look very much intact. The grain looks very much intact as I zoom in. There's no chit. There's nothing sitting on top of it. It's the first time I've really seen grain like that in a long time. Just a lot of just grain, not a lot of. There's no channeling. What you're seeing zoomed in was me kind of messing around with my finger, kind of digging around in it, but you know, maybe some channeling up here. But I also have the malt pipes sitting at an angle to drain. Okay, 1.040, which is exactly what the Brewfather calculator was shooting for, puts us at 75% mash efficiency. So we nailed it on the head. Now I gotta hope that we can boil off 9 points. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, I'm cleaning up now. It is 10 o'clock at night. The BrewTubers meeting is over. We're all chatting on Zoom while I clean. Numbers. Brew by the numbers, I call it. So we were shooting for 5 3/4 gallons. We ended up at 5.64 gallons. I'll take that. I don't ferment very often in my torpedo keg. That is pretty solid numbers. I'm glad that I took a 1/4 gallon off of my pre-boil volumes this morning. I was doing some math, and so I'm glad I did that. I'd rather be a little bit short than be way over. So 5.64 gallons, we'll take that. And then for the OG 1.047, that puts me at 69% in essence Brewhouse efficiency, 75% mash efficiency. So we're still 6 points down on Brewhouse efficiency, which means I'm still gonna tinker with the mill quite a bit. I've brewed at 0.30 on the mill setting for the spike mill, and I think I'm gonna go as far down on the next beer as 0.20. Worst thing that can happen is that I have a nightmare brew day and stuck sparge, stuck mash. So I think it's worth it to experiment with that, because the kernels today, I mentioned earlier that some of them were a little, maybe they weren't cracked or they were barely cracked. So I think it would be worth it for me to kind of go down a little bit further and see what I can get for Brewhouse efficiency from there. I was aiming for 0.49, got 0.47, so I'm getting a little bit closer on making up points on the boil. But 9 points is a lot to make up on the boil, and so I'm completely understanding of that. So in any event, back to the drawing board, probably gonna turn down the mill setting as I mentioned, and we'll go from there. I will definitely be recording that brew day as well. So look forward to that. Thanks so much for watching. L'chaim.